Fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better.
Okay.
What to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge. And I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
Universal basic income.
Universal basic income, I think it's going to be necessary.
So it means that unemployed people will be paid across the globe.
Yeah.
Because there is no job. Machine, robot is taking over.
That's simply I want to be clear that these are not things that I think that I wish would happen. These are simply things that I think probably will happen. And since if my assessment is correct and they probably will happen, then we need to say, what are we going to do about it? And I think some kind of a universal basic income is going to be necessary. Now, the output of goods and services will be extremely high. So with automation, there will come abundance. There will be almost everything will get very cheap. I think the biggest. I think we'll just end up doing a universal basic income. It's going to be necessary. The harder challenge, much harder challenge, is how do people then have meaning? Like a lot of people, they derive their meaning from their employment. So if you don't have, if you're not needed, if there's not a need for your labor, how do you? What's the meaning? Do you have meaning? Do you feel useless? That's a much harder problem to deal with.
This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, we are not ignorant of his devices. And all this, talks of, joblessness and homelessness, financial woes, and, people not being able to make ends meet is all going to be used and it is being used as a vehicle to push towards their ultimate agenda, which is to have everybody have that CHIP in them. They could be tracked and traced, that RFID technology, as spoken about in Revelation, the 13th chapter, 16 on down. So first and foremost, before I get started, I want to thank Bahasham, Yahawashi, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me this truth. Salutation, brothers and sisters that are out there listening, learning, fighting this good fight of faith. And salutation, my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom. And I pray that this lesson be edifying to the elect. So I have a couple articles that I want to, kind of skim through, and a couple more videos that I want to watch a little bit of, just to, show that these devils are moving, man. These devils are moving. There's a lot of things in play. There's a lot of pieces on the chessboard that are being moved. When Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi are making these devils do these things in order to fulfill prophecy, right? As it says in Isaiah, the 55th chapter, the words of the Lord do not come back void. They accomplish what he pleased. Proverbs 21:1 speaks about how the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He turneth it whithersoever he pleases. Job 33 talks about when men are asleep, he sealeth their instructions. All man's goings are of the Lord in another scripture. So there's many scriptures that prove that Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi are in complete control, and Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi are making these devils do these things in order for prophecy to be fulfilled, man. And that ultimate prophecy that is soon, to come, is indeed that MOTB, man, that mark of the beast, which is the RFID CHIP technology that they plan on implanting in everybody, and they're using this financial ruin and these bank collapses and these businesses going out of business and people not being able to find jobs and the inflation, the price of food, right? So people are drowning right now. And as this, as these doubles operate, problem, reaction, solution. So the problem is people aren't being able to work. If they are working, their dollar doesn't go as far as it used to. They can't afford food. They can't afford child care. They can't afford health care. So that's the, so the reaction is that people are mourning and they're looking for a solution. And the solution is the government is going to come in and quote unquote save the day with this UBI. And ultimately they're going to say, because of these cyber attacks and different things of that nature, that in order to receive these benefits, you're going to have to get, CHIP, man. So we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. So, in this video, I'm just going to highlight a couple of, the wiles of the devil, so to speak. The methods that you look at that word, wiles. As a matter of fact, let's get it. Let's get it. For any new listeners. I think it's Ephesians 6, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Ephesians 6 and 10, I'll start at. And it reads, the subtitle is the armor of God, the armor of the Most High, which is His word, which is the truth, which is the names of Yahawah, Yahawashi, man. Having faith that Yahawah, Yahawashi will take care of us in these times. It says, finally, my brethren, Ephesians 6 and 10, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the and in the power of His might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. When you look up that word wiles in the Greek,
Strong's G 3180, Methodiah,
which you see within it, method, cunning arts, deceit, craft, trickery, to lie in wait, right? So these devils, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, right? One of his characteristics is to be a cunning hunter, right? So they lay snares and traps and gins, for animals and for people as well, So this is, I'll start off with a little bit of this article just to set the tone. So this is from Natural News. It was published a couple days ago, August 6, 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, as coined by the beloved Apostle Tahar. And it reads, America, what we're witnessing are the classic final stages of a massive bubble economy right before it collapses, man. And we're indeed seeing that. So it says the U.S. national debt is rising at an increasing rate. It just hit 35 trillion for the first time ever, meaning the amount of time it takes for the next trillion to be tacked on the tab is getting shorter and shorter. And at some point, the bubble has to pop. The situation is so out of control that even the New York Times is warning its readers that the problem is spiraling more quickly than many economists had predicted. The House Budget Committee recently released a report highlighting just how quickly the national debt has grown over the past year. Here's what they found. $196 billion in new debt every month, $6.4 billion in new debt every day, $268 million in new debt every hour, $4.5 million in new debt every minute, and $74,401 in new debt every second, man. So this place is out of here, man. And they want this financial ruin to continue, so they can come in with the solution, which is ultimately that CHIP, man. So it says homelessness in America increasing about 10% annually since the end of CV. It says, to put things into perspective, the national debt when Obama first entered the White House in early 2009 was 10 trillion. Damn. So it increased like damn near 3 times. Excuse me, the amount. This was right after the collapse of the housing and stock market. Since that time, the national debt has nearly tripled, with more on the way. Let's see. I just want to get a little bit of this and get to these videos. It says New Hampshire and New Mexico saw the largest increase in homelessness over the past several years, at 52% and 50% respectively. In third place is New York, which has seen a 39% increase in homelessness. Poverty and hunger are also on the rise across the U.S. In 2023, more than 12% of the country was living below the poverty line, with 13% indicating that they lacked funding needed to eat. Right? So these are all these problems going on. It says there are now 6 major U.S. cities where one would need to make $200,000 a year just to live a normal middle-class lifestyle. These cities include Boston, Denver, San Diego, San Francisco, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. So how would they be able to solve this problem, right? So since we're talking about, cost of living, let's go to one of the first videos. So this is from the brother Mike, RTD TV, Rethinking the Dollar TV, and it says, UBI test pilots, your tax dollars at work. So without further ado, here we go and play a little bit of this, all right?
And it's what they want you to believe. So anyway, cost of living in the U.S. So it says here, the cost of living crisis in the U.S. is characterized by several factors: housing and childcare costs, food prices, homelessness, and financial insecurity, Social Security adjustments, and so COLA, Social Security and SSI benefits will see a 3.2% cost of living adjustment this year. 3.2%. Once again, government statistics, inflation is around that 3.1, whatever it is last they told us. But John Williams from Shadow Stacks is more like 9-10%, depending on what city you're in. According to the Chapwood Index, it could be 11, 12, 13, depending on what city you're in. So once again, cost COLA, we know that's a bunch of crap. But then again, for the retirees and people who rely upon that, I'm sure that number makes them feel like, oh, we're getting something. But they know it's not much. So anyway, so these are just things that are described under what will be Bidenomics. With the Bidenflation is what we use in the U.S. Okay, so how are they fighting that? Guaranteed basic.
So problem, reaction, solution, right? So let's listen up. How are they fighting that, as the brother just said?
What will be Bidenomics? With the Bidenflation is what we use in the U.S. Okay, so how are they fighting that? Guaranteed basic income. So this came out yesterday. Guaranteed basic income in Fresno launches $500 a month for families chosen by a lottery. And so the king gets pay raises. Globally speaking, as a result of the cost of living crisis, there's cash assistance programs as well as other forms of self-injected currency into the people's hands, more fuel for the fire. And then here in the U.S., guaranteed basic income is really taking off now. And so this is just something that came out yesterday from Fresno. It says a year-long effort to launch an anti-poverty initiative. So giving extra 500 is labeled as anti-poverty. So within this article and a couple other articles I'm going to highlight real quickly, the narrative that they, meaning the writers, portray as because of the injustices of the financial differences between those who have and those who don't, it's the government and, these type of, programs that are very helpful because it helps provide dignity for the American worker who just doesn't have the opportunity to feed their families because of the injustice and inequality. And then they use race and they use all types of things.
Right. And because of the lack of employment, right? So let me get a scripture real quick and then we'll get the next video. This is from Ecclesiastes 12:3, and it reads, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble," right? The keepers of the house go into the economist, right? Mike is he studies the economy, and there's many economists that are warning of all these bank failures and inflations and the housing market collapsing and people not being able to afford houses. People aren't buying cars anymore. People are not able to afford food and fuel and childcare and basic necessities to sustain themselves in society. So it says, in the day when the keepers of the house, the economists, shall tremble, and strong men shall bow themselves, and it's the point, and the grinders cease because they are few. The grinders ceasing goes into the jobs. There's fewer and fewer jobs. And it says, because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. Right? And representing people looking out the window, looking off into the future and seeing that there's no future here, man. Babylon is through, man. There is no future here. Babylon is ultimately going to be destroyed by ICBM missiles, as according to the scriptures. So let's get this other video real quick. Going into the Economist. Let's see. Where's that? So this is from Redacted. And this is fair use, by the way. This is from their video published a couple days ago. They just admitted the financial collapse is here, and they are hiding the reason. So without further ado, here we go. Let's play a little bit of this.
So the SAM rule has a 100% accuracy rate for a recession, predicting recession. But the biggest part of this is employment. Okay, so that's part of the SAM rule, this employment problem right now. And the biggest piece that no one's talking about, because they won't talk about it in the mainstream media, God bless this individual for actually mentioning it, though, I can't believe he did, is illegal immigrants taking American jobs. So Americans losing their jobs over here and then being replaced by illegal immigrants. That's the real story here on the employment crisis. Watch.
What about a recession? Are we headed to recession?
I believe we are, and Stuart, it's been the consumer. The consumer drives 70% of the market, and the consumer has been pushed to the brink, and we're starting to see that. Now, there's been this false belief that the strength of the employment market, that it had to do with the amount of employees that are being hired. What is in reality is that 1.2 million Americans, U.S. citizens, lost their jobs, which were replaced by 1.3 million foreign-born or illegal immigrants. That is U.S. labor statistics. That shows that the labor market was never as strong as it was, and a lot of the new jobs being created by part-time workers, it's never been as strong as it was. Now you're going to see layoffs, and there's going to be more carnage in the future, leading us to a deeper recession.
All right, look at that. 1.2 million jobs were lost to Americans, and 1.3 million jobs were created for these so-called illegals or migrants, these individuals from all over the world who were born in other countries. So this is causing all types of friction and division, and strife and anger within the country, and as the Lord said, Matthew 12:25, and Yahawashi knew their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. Excuse me. And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Right? So every kingdom that's divided against itself shall have a fall. And Babylon the Great, aka America, is no different, man. You know, so this is, you know, this, all this job, people not able to make ends meet, and not able to find a job, and if they do have a job, that one job doesn't cut it anymore because they have to make at least close to $200,000 a year or annually, to live decent. So they got to work all the goddamn time. They don't have time to spend with their children. They might not be able to work another job because they can't afford childcare, right? So all of these things are coming to a head, man. This is from our Business Insider. It says America's hiring boom is officially over. It says the job market is tumbling. How did everyone miss the warning signs? And this was published August 7th, a couple days ago, 2 days ago, 2024. Excuse me. So it says pretty much everybody woke up last Friday feeling like America's labor market was in fine shape. It says to the extent the average person was thinking about it at all, maybe things weren't perfect and the workers weren't living in the quote world is your oyster situation they were in 2021 and 2022, but in general things seem pretty strong. And then at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, everything changed. The jobs report said the U.S. economy added 114,000 jobs in July, far fewer than 176,000 jobs that economists expected. The unemployment rate jumped to 4.3 from 4.1% the previous month. For some context, back in April it was 3.9%, and it had been under 4% for the longest stretch in decades. The weakest of the jobs report tipped the worry scale and sent markets into meltdown mode. Many investors decided it was time to panic after all. So as the devil Elon Musk spoke about in the opening clip, UBI will be the solution, because also, he mentioned, we have to mention that the tech, the AI are taking a lot of jobs. For example, they have a burger restaurant, I believe it's in California, where there's no workers. The machines, in the back cook the burgers, they cook the fries, and the people that come in, all they have to do is they order at a kiosk. So you don't need a cashier, you don't need somebody on the fries, you don't need somebody on the burgers, so it just runs itself. All they would need is just the person around just to make sure the machines are working. So one employee as opposed to 5 or 6 employees, so that's where everything's going. And these devils, we're not ignorant of these devil's devices, because this is the plan that they want everybody to basically be dependent on the government, and then they can control everybody, right? Because if you can't make money because there's no jobs, and then you can't if you do work, it doesn't add up, and the price of everything still goes up. Eventually you're going to be, everybody's going to be homeless. They talk about the people maxing out their credit cards to try to keep up with bills, and people their houses are being foreclosed on rapid rates. Their cars are being repossessed. They're trying to sell off things. They're pawning things more, and all types of things. So the middle class is basically done. You know, the ones that were, the well-to-do, Edomites and heathen and even Jake are struggling, man. So we're seeing a gap being made between the haves and the have-nots. You're gonna have the super rich, and then everybody else is gonna be fucking poor, man. And the only way that people are going to be able to survive in their minds is to take, that sea hit, man. And a quick disclaimer, once they start, they'll probably pass out, cards, or maybe they'll send people a check every week or every month, or, with this universal basic income, they'll gradually kind of get into it. It's not a sin, to accept the money from the government. As the scriptures say, use the world, not abuse it. But the sin comes when they start saying that in order for you to receive these benefits, you have to get this C-hip, this micro C-hip implanted into you, to participate in society. That's where the sin comes, So I just wanted to, put that out there for any new listeners, man. So let me just get this is Isaiah 24:7, because hey, this place is through, man. This place is absolutely through, and these devils are moving, and they're pushing forward with their agenda, man. And us, brothers that are sighing and crying for all the abomination, that are done in the midst of us. We're here to give warning of these things to come, and to tell you that these devils are moving towards this, and ultimately they're gonna force people to take it. But the Lord said, don't take it, or you're gonna be destroyed. You can read about that in Revelation, the 14th chapter, around 9 and 10. So this is Isaiah 24:7. And it reads, the new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. So as we read in the other article, homelessness is up 10%. That's a lot. You're talking about, if there's 1 million people in a city, 10%, that's 100,000 people that just went homeless. 100,000 people on the street all of a sudden. So the ones that were well-to-do and living their best life, probably, Edomites, talking shit to Jake, the same assholes that, will laugh at a vlogger be rude to a homeless person and disrespect a homeless person just because of their situation. Now these assholes are fucking homeless, man. A lot of them. And it's only going to continue to increase, man. So all the merry-hearted do sigh, man. The mirth of tabrets ceaseth. The noise of them that rejoice endeth. So these bitch-ass Edomites, and other heathen, and even Jakes that love Esau, that were, living their best life, hot girl summer, hot boy summer, all this bullshit just a few years ago. A lot of these niggas are suffering now, man. Their joy, they're not rejoicing. Their rejoice has ended. And it says, the joy of the harp ceaseth. They shall not drink wine with a song. Right? So all this, partying and, partying bullshit and popping bottles. And, you got the bottle girls coming with the sparklers and all that shit. They standing on the couch, having it, with the chains hanging low and all that, right? Having a good old time. They says, strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. So they're going to be, instead of drinking to have a good time, they'll be drinking to try to escape their problems, man. It says the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in, man. So, hey, Babylon is through, man. This place is absolutely through. And they're purposely, collapsing the society, collapsing the money, breaking down the people, and sending them into depression and all types of shit, just so that they can come with the solution, which is that micro C-hip spoken about here in Revelation 13th chapter and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, the charagma, in their right hand or in their forehead, right hand, left hand, period. And they don't have to necessarily force people from the beginning. Ultimately, they're going to force people with the threat of death, as it talks about in I believe it's Revelation 20th chapter. When John the Revelator said he's seen the heads of them that refuse to worship the beast, roughly paraphrasing, refuse to get this C-hip, man, refuse to bow to the image of the beast, man, to participate in this wicked NWO that these devils are pushing, man. So at first, a lot, they're gonna get a lot of people to take it just because they want to be comfortable, right? Isn't that what they did with the C-hip? With the jump shot. They they started threatening people with losing their jobs and not making as much money, and most people folded like a cheap lawn chair, man. Quick, applied, the serpent applied a little pressure, and and these people gave in, man. So how much more now that they've been completely suffocating people, man? People are literally drowning in debt, skipping meals and shit. Can't afford to, put their kids in school. In after school programs so they can go and work. So that's less money, all types of things. So when they come with this solution, a lot of people are gonna go running for it. They're gonna beg for it, man. Revelation 13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell. So, once they get to mandating these C-hips, everybody's information will be on these C-hips, man. Your driver's license, your ID. You want to talk, they're always talking about bringing up digital IDs and things of that nature, and ultimately your finances, man. So they'll be able to give you that UBI, universal basic income, through this C-hip, man. And then you'll be able to go and buy and sell with that. But if you don't have it, you won't be able to participate in society. And it says, in that no man might buy or sell, save, meaning except he that had the charagma. So you won't be able to participate in society at all. There'll be no paper money because they're doing away with it. So you won't be able to make any types of transactions, man. Point blank, period. And that's why the scriptures say that the Lord will feed us, The Lord will give us drink, The Lord will give us raiment, clothes, This is where faith is really, got to kick in, man. And this is why it's important to, do these lessons and tell you brothers and sisters a warn of what's coming. So, you get your mind right, man. Get your gird up your loins, man, so to speak, as the scriptures say, man. Make ye ready for the battle, man. This is Revelation 13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the number of the beast, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, man. Here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, the mark of the devil, man. Esau, Edom, so-called white man, particularly the elites, man, that are pushing all this wickedness, on the world, man. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, just wanted to do it in the news MOTB update video. You know, the wiles of the devil. And yeah, these devils are purposely collapsing, you know, the economy, society, you know, bringing the people to their knees so they can ultimately come with this solution, which will start, you know, with UBI and different things of that nature. As the brother Mike brought out, you know, over there in California, to start off with some lottery and, you know, basically testing the waters, you know. And eventually they're going to roll it out, man. And this UBI is going to ultimately lead to the RFID C-HIP, the mark of the beast that they plan on having everybody implanted with, man, so that they can basically be gods on earth, man. But Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi have reserved unto them 7,000 men, meaning a complete amount of men that will not bend the knee to Baal, to these devils, man. You know, so we hope and pray that we're of that number, man, that we can, you know, that the Lord will keep us in the hour of temptation, man, you know, and put that spirit on us to continue to resist this damn devil, man, you know. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope and pray that this lesson was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to thank Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi once again for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. And I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi Bahasham Rakakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me his truth. Salutations, you brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning. Fighting this good fight of faith. Keep fighting, keep striving, keep pushing. We're almost out of here. And salutation, my fellow brethren that are pushing his word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom. I want to say a Baba Ball and Kwam Yasharala. Hey, shalom. To the next one.